know if you heard the first one. That's why I said it a few times. Anyway, practice evens per usual for 4.1, 129 through 130. Let's get started. All right, for questions 1 through 6, they just want us to graph the inequalities. So all you got to do for these problems, throw up a little graph like this, and I'll go ahead and just show you how to draw one. 2 arrows, put a little one in the middle for 0 usually, and then, I don't know, depending on what they give you, maybe 4 or 5 on each side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You don't have to label all of them, just give me a few key ones, that way we can focus our eyes. But number 2, x is greater than 0. So what do? We find the number they gave us, 0. Do we fill it in or keep it open? We only fill it in if they have that little bar underneath it, so it stays open, and x is greater than, so we go greater than. Number 4, x is less than or equal to 5, so find the number they give us, 5. Is it filled or open? It's filled because of the bar underneath the sign, and x is less than, so we go below. All right, and then lastly 6, x does not equal -4. All right, we didn't learn this one in the lesson video, so pay attention. So same process. We go to -4. It can't equal -4, so we leave it open. What can x equal? It can equal anything else. So it could be anything above or anything below. Now, this isn't one of your problems, but if they gave you x equals 7, we would go to 7, x equals 7, and it can only be 7, so we just fill it in. So, yeah, it shouldn't be too tricky for you to think about, but it's just the way we graph it. Please give me your questions if you got them. Question 7, 8, and 9, they gave us 2 to work with a piece. So number 8, they gave us 2, so we want to graph both of them. So let's start with the first one, x is greater than or equal to 6. Find 6. Do we fill it or leave it open? We fill it because of the bar. X is greater than. X is less than 4. We find our 4. We don't fill it because there's no bar. X is less than. And remember, if our x is not on the left, we want to get it on the left, just because it's easier to read in English when we do that. And remember, if they gave it to us like this, if they gave it to us like this, all we got to do to flip it is flip the numbers and then flip the sign to face the other way. For 10 and 12, they give us the graph and they want us to find the inequality. So for the first one, we have something like this. So we know that it's going to be x, and this tells us that it's not going to have the little bar underneath it, and this tells us that it's less than. I actually did that one out of order. Let me try again. So first information we know, we got x and a -4, so we'll write that -4 first, and then it's going to be less than because it's going less than -4, and then there's not going to be a bar because we have an open circle. Next we have this one right, we have this one right here. So we know it's x and a 4, and we know that it's filled because, or we have the bar underneath because it's a filled circle, and we know it's going to be greater than because we're going to the right. Questions 14 through 19, they want to know if the numbers they give us are solutions. Remember, solution just means it makes the statement true if we substitute it. All right, for these problems, they give you 3 or 4 different values to plug in. If you are listening, you only have to do 2 apiece. So just do the first 2 in each example. Don't worry about the others. But here we go. Substitute. -3, we'll start with -1 plus 4 greater than 2. -3 times -1 is 3 plus 4 greater than 2. 7 is greater than 2. Is that true? Yes. -1 is the solution. Let's do 0. -3 times 0 plus 4 greater than 2. 0 plus 4 greater than 2. 4 greater than 2. Yes, this is a solution. And then lastly, -3 times 1 plus 4 greater than 2. -3 plus 4 greater than 2. 1 greater than 2? No. 1 is not a solution. But like I said, put this in your notes or in your homework line or whatever. You only have to do the first two of each of these, each of what they give you on questions 15, 17, and 19. All right, got some word problems on the next page. Why do we do word problems? Because math is useless if we can't turn it into English. That's what I'm trying to teach you. What is that? Rice? I don't know. Oh, what is it? Okay, forget it. All right, question 20. Twice a number added to 6 is less than 23. Okay, twice a number. We don't know what that number is, so we put x. Added to 6 is less than 23. All right, we turned our English into math. Is 10 a solution? All we have to do is plug in 10 and substitute. 2 times 10 is 20, plus 6 is 26. 26 is not less than 23, therefore 10 is not a solution. By the way, questions 20 through 32, turn it into English and then substitute the value or whatever. All right, 22. Todd is 5 years older than his sister Anne. Let's start with that sentence. Todd is 5 years older than Anne. He's Anne's age plus 5. Okay, that's our first sentence. Sentence 2. The sum of their ages is less than 15. Todd's age plus Anne's age is doesn't necessarily mean equal anymore. We got to know which of our 6 symbols to use. Is less than 15. Okay. Could Anne be 9 years old? Let's find out. Okay. Let's start by substituting 9 into each of these, because the question is, could Anne be 9? So t equals 5 plus 9. T equals 14. Okay, now let's substitute 14, and Anne is 9. Is that less than 15? No, that's 23. So to answer your question, no, Anne could not be 9, because it wouldn't make our statement true. It's not a solution because it doesn't make it true. That's what it means to be a solution. Is the statement gonna be true? And all we did here was just substitute the value they gave us. Substitute the value they gave us. 24. Eric has an equal number of dimes and quarters. So let's start with that. He has an equal number of dimes and quarters. So his total dimes equal his total quarters. That total less than $4. So the value, remember how we calculate value? We do the price times the quantity. So that's the value of the dimes. The total less than $4. So the value of the dimes plus the value of the quarters is less than $4. But in this case, because I moved the decimal twice already, we got to move it twice over here. Because why? Because our units are cents. 10 cents, 25 cents. Therefore, we got to turn our dollars into cents right here. That's what we're doing here. I skipped a step for you. Hopefully you'll understand. If not, ask me about it. Could he have 12 dimes? Well, let's find out. If he had 12 dimes, that would mean he has 12 quarters. If he had 12 dimes and 12 quarters, that would mean he had 120 cents in dimes and 300 cents in quarters. And that would equal 420 cents. Is that less than $4? No, it is not. Therefore, he could not have that many dimes. Too much dimes. Could he have 11? Probably. 26. The faculty team scored less than half as many points as the varsity team. So if you struggle with turning it into English, let's change the language a little bit. Think about the noun, points. That's what we're measuring, points. The points of the faculty team was, or is, the points of the faculty team was less than half as many points. Half of means half multiply. Half as many as the varsity team. Okay. A total of 100 points were scored. So the points of the faculty plus the points of the varsity equals 100. If x represents the number of points that the varsity team scored, could x equal 60? In other words, hold on. Okay, forget about x because we know our variable is v in our problem. Because it's what does it say? The varsity team points. So we already have that at v. Could it equal 60? Let's plug it in and find out. 1/2 of 60. Okay, what's 1/2 of 60? 30. So f is less than 30. And so if f is less than 30, and if v is 60, the most we could possibly get out of that is 90. Is 90 equal to 100? No, we would need at least 40 points from the faculty. Anyway, 20, and I'll leave the rest to you. What's going on at the bottom of this page? Yeah, go ahead and do those if you want, but you should know how to do them already. I take that back. Don't do them if you want. Do them. Do questions 1 through 10, but you know, the odds, the ones you're supposed to do. And I'll see you in the next video.